last night, 2024 quarterback Adrian Posse. I don't even know which high school he is right now. He's been at so many, and that's not a knock on. I just don't. Was it Columbus, Keith?
No, that was his previous high school. He's at Mater
shit.
Academy. At last check, Mater Academy in Hialeah, which is just north of Miami.
Okay, so he was a Harsin guy. He was a Eric Keesall guy, and decommitted last night. Keith, we kind of knew this was coming.
Yeah, so he committed during Big Cat weekend. Adrian Posse, 4-star quarterback who had great success at the 7-on-7 level, was at Miami Pace as I think sophomore, and then transferred to Miami Columbus, and then left Columbus for Mater Academy. But Auburn identified him, the previous staff, and he had other options. I mean, I think Notre Dame was a school that was after us. People always say, "Well, who did you beat? Did this guy have any other options?" Mm-hmm. He had other options. Now, that was before his junior season when he transferred, didn't play much, and I don't know whether that's going to hurt his stock or not, but the ability's there. But he's a pure pro-style quarterback. I mean, Cole and Jayhead can get into the minutia here, the details, but he's not necessarily built for what Hugh Freeze wants. So on Friday, Jeffrey and I got kind of tipped off that it was probably headed down this road of a parting of the ways, we call it, and we do that so we don't take, not to make a kid look bad, and also not to make a program look bad. These things go both ways. Mutual parting. I think it was ultimately Auburn's direction that led to this. But, we had noticed that, I talked to his father the other day, and he said they hadn't heard from the new staff. Well, that's a red flag right there. That's something that catches all of our, we've been doing this. That's something that raises our eyebrows. The second thing was on the first day, and Jeffrey pointed this out on our message boards, the first day that Hugh Freeze could get out in January to recruit, his very first visit, to our knowledge, was to Little Rock Christian Academy, and that was to see Walker White, the 2024 quarterback, 4-star kid, who is visiting Auburn tomorrow on Monday. And so that was significant too. So you start putting these things together. We're reading the tea leaves, and we had an idea, and then obviously we got some further sourcing that led us to believe that this was going to happen. And then he did back off his commitment last night. But I don't think, it's a terrible thing for either side, because if it's not a fit, it's not a fit, right? Now, I know Adrian loved Auburn and loved the community, the fans, the players, all that stuff. But it became obvious pretty early on as Auburn was putting out new QB offers. Now, the one thing would be, could they take 2 in 2024? And sure, they could. That's going to depend on who's back, and that's kind of an unknown variable at this time. But the fact of the matter is they weren't really communicating with Posse, and they were communicating with other quarterbacks. I mean, we're not geniuses, but we know how to read tea leaves. So that leaves Auburn with one 2024 commitment, and that's the 4-star cornerback from Moody, Alabama, Amon Lane. He's going to be at Auburn on the 28th of this month.